Welcome to the Unraveling the Scriptures channel. We frequently receive questions from many of our subscribers, and one in particular stands out for being both intriguing and thought-provoking. Today, I will address this topic in this video. The question is, what was the physical appearance of the first human beings on Earth? More specifically, what did Adam and Eve look like according to the Bible? Since they are considered the ancestors of all humanity and its many ethnic groups, questions naturally arise regarding their skin color and physical features. As the parents of mankind, what might their physiognomy have been like? I'm going to explore this topic with you, so I invite you to leave a like, comment, and follow this content for more. What was the color of Adam and Eve's skin? Where did black people, white people, Asians, indigenous peoples, and Arabs come from? Surely at some point, you've asked yourself these kinds of questions when observing the diversity of people across the world through the lens of the Bible. For instance, when looking at Asia and its peoples, such as the Chinese, Japanese, and Koreans, it's natural to wonder, what would Adam and Eve have looked like? In a world so rich in ethnic diversity, many thoughts come to mind. Some wonder whether Adam and Eve had dark skin, Asian features similar to Chinese, Japanese, or Koreans, or if they were white. These are common questions we receive regarding ethnic origins according to biblical creationism. So, how does biblical creationism explain the existence of so many ethnicities in such a diverse world? From black populations to Asian peoples like the Chinese, to indigenous groups across the globe, humanity displays a vast and rich spectrum of ethnic diversity. Driven by these recurring questions and the many thoughtful comments from our subscribers, I decided to create this video. I'll explain the biblical creationist perspective and also reference the insights of scholar Edato Lorenzo, who offers enlightening views on the origin of Adam and Eve, their possible skin color, and the events that followed the birth of their children. Let's start by addressing a common question. How could a single couple have given rise to black people, Asians, indigenous peoples, those from the Middle East, and so many other ethnic groups spread across the world? The truth is, many who raise this question often forget a crucial fact. All human beings share a common genetic foundation. If a man from Saudi Arabia marries a woman from Africa, their children will inherit characteristics from both regions. The same happens if an African woman marries a man from Germany. Their offspring will carry traits from both heritages. In response to the complex question of how Adam and Eve could be the ancestors of such a wide array of ethnicities, the explanation is this. Adam and Eve were originally mixed-race individuals. Yes, you heard that right. The progenitors of humanity possessed a combination of features. This helps explain the broad range of skin tones seen across the globe. Black, white, and indigenous, each with their own unique hues. Some indigenous peoples have more brownish skin, while others display a reddish tone, like the Native American populations of North America, among many other ethnic groups worldwide. What often goes unnoticed is the analysis of the biblical text itself. I always encourage people to read the scriptures, and if possible, examine the original Hebrew and Aramaic as well. Conducting research and drawing linguistic parallels, especially in the context of Genesis, is incredibly valuable. Let's look at this more closely. The name Adam carries an intriguing meaning. It literally means red earth or clay. This name is deeply connected to the essence of humanity. Adam was formed from the dust of the earth, giving him a reddish-brown complexion, similar to the skin tone once associated with Native Americans, historically referred to as red-skinned peoples. This tone, as described by scholar Edato Lorenzo, was lighter than modern indigenous skin, but still carried a distinct reddish hue. So, as the first humans, Adam and Eve did not have black or white skin. Rather, they had a reddish tone, reminiscent of North American natives. It's important to note that this discussion focuses specifically on skin tone, which serves as the genetic foundation from which all other ethnic variations unfolded, ultimately producing the incredible diversity we see today. It's also worth highlighting that mixed ancestry couples can produce children with a wide range of features. Adam and Eve, therefore, would have had a genetic composition capable of expressing multiple ethnic appearances in their descendants, including black, white, indigenous, Middle Eastern, and many more. This means that the ethnic diversity we observe today in humanity, including Asians, white Europeans, black Africans, and many others, can be fully explained by the mixed characteristics found in the original couple, Adam and Eve. The explanation offered by evolutionists, which is not based on the Holy Scriptures or biblical creationism, suggests that differences in skin color around the world are a result of the climate in various regions. According to this view, lighter-skinned people adapted to colder climates, while darker-skinned people adapted to hotter ones, such as those in Africa. However, this explanation lacks logical consistency. There are light-skinned people living in very hot regions, like the Middle East, and dark-skinned people living in colder areas. Climate does not determine a person's skin color, nor does it alter their genetics. For example, if a light-skinned couple moves to Africa, their children will still be born with light skin. Likewise, if an African couple relocates to Germany, their children will not resemble the local population. They will retain African features. The idea that cold climates can somehow make children be born with lighter skin, and the reverse for hotter climates, has no scientific or logical foundation. The same principle applies to couples from the Middle East, Syrians, Arabs, or Jews. If they move to a different region, their children will continue to display the Semitic features of their ancestors, not take on the appearance of the local population. According to the biblical interpretation, Adam and Eve were originally of mixed ancestry, which helps explain the vast ethnic diversity we see today. Let me be absolutely clear. The environment does not alter a person's genetics or change their ethnicity. The environment cannot transform a black person into a white person or the other way around, just as it cannot make an indigenous person look African or Caucasian. This also applies to individuals of Arab origin who do not become African in appearance simply because the Middle East is as hot as Africa. It's important to highlight that Arabs, Persians, and Jews have distinct physical traits such as arched noses and a yellowish skin tone, which is neither black nor white. It is true that sun exposure can cause temporary tanning in light-skinned individuals, including Middle Easterners. However, their children will still be born with the ethnic features they inherited, not with a skin tone affected by the sun. The environment does not have the power to change a person's ethnic identity. In other words, it is completely inconsistent to claim that climate can influence a person's genetic makeup. Such an idea contradicts the core principles of biblical creationism. After all, God is the creator of all ethnic groups, and He endowed each with their own distinct characteristics. All the ethnic groups that exist in the world today were already inherently present in Adam. Thus, every skin tone and human variety we see today derives from Him, encompassing the full richness of human diversity. It's important to remember that climate may cause temporary changes, like tanning during one's lifetime. However, the children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren of those individuals will continue to inherit the colors and ethnic traits of their ancestry, which are not changed by the weather. Traits such as nose shape, eye color, and cranial structure are not influenced by climate. The ethnicities that populate the world today are direct descendants of Noah's lineages, as we've discussed in our series, The Origins of Peoples According to the Bible. If you're unfamiliar with that series, I'll leave the playlist link at the end of this video. For example, the Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, Filipinos, and other peoples of East Asia are direct descendants of Togarma, who is biblically mentioned as the grandson of Japheth. Togarma is considered the ancestor of the Asian peoples after the flood. People with fair skin, red hair, blonde hair, and blue eyes originate from the lineage of Japheth, who is their biblical forefather. Those with red hair descend from Gomer, while those with blonde hair, not only according to the Bible, but also according to ancient Jewish traditions, are direct descendants of Ashkenaz. who came from the Scandinavian region. Peoples with dark skin, such as Africans and South Indians, trace their lineage back to Cush, son of Ham and grandson of Noah. It's important to distinguish Africans from Canaanites. Africans descend directly from Ham and represent a less mixed lineage. Meanwhile, peoples of the Middle East, such as Arabs, Syrians, Iraqis, and Jews, share a common ethnicity. They are all descendants of Shem, the eldest son of Noah. Shem, the father of the Semites, is the common ancestor of these peoples. Therefore, Arabs, Jews, Syrians, Iraqis, Lebanese, and others all share a direct ancestral connection to Shem. In summary, the lineages of Noah, Hamites, Semites, and Japhethites define the foundational ethnic groups of humanity, all of whom trace their origin back to Noah and ultimately to Adam and Eve. Even though some may question the idea that all ethnicities come from a single ancestral couple and choose not to believe in the Bible, the reality speaks for itself. Just look at countries like Brazil, a clear and powerful example of how all peoples stem from a shared ancestry. Brazil showcases a vibrant mix of Europeans, Africans, Asians, including Japanese and Chinese communities, and of course, the native indigenous peoples. This same diversity can be seen in many other countries around the world. God created Adam and Eve with a unique blend for a special purpose. He desired a world filled with color, variety, and beauty. Each ethnic group, each people, possesses its own unique traits, all part of the magnificent design of creation. There's a popular saying that carries deep truth: we are all brothers. And this saying makes perfect sense because the post-flood patriarchs of humanity, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, were brothers. And so, as we reach the end of this journey through time, scripture, and the origins of humanity, one truth echoes louder than all others. We are all descendants of a single family, a sacred design authored by the very hands of the Creator. From Adam and Eve, shaped from the dust and breath of God, came the entire human race, rich in color, culture, language, and form. From Noah and his 3 sons, the world was repopulated after the flood, giving rise to the vast diversity of peoples we now know: Hamites, Semites, and Japhethites. Whether you trace your roots to Africa, Europe, the Middle East, Asia, or the Americas, your story begins in the same place, the Garden of Eden, where humanity was born. The Arab and the Jew, the European and the African, the Asian and the indigenous, all are brothers, bound not only by DNA, but by divine purpose. This is not a message of division, this is a message of unity, a call to remember that the differences that make us unique are the very things that make creation beautiful. In a world that often emphasizes separation, let us be the voice that reminds others of our shared beginning. We are not strangers to one another. We are not accidents of evolution or chaos. We are one family, the family of mankind. We are the children of Adam. We are the legacy of Noah. So the next time you look at someone who appears different from you, in skin tone, in language, in culture, remember, they are your relative, your kin, your brother or sister in the great family of humanity. And that, my friends, is the beauty of God's plan. If this video brought new insight to you, I invite you to like, comment, and share it so that more people can understand the profound unity that binds us all. And if you want to keep exploring the hidden truths and sacred mysteries of the scriptures, make sure you're subscribed to this channel and check out our series, The Origins of Peoples According to the Bible. Until next time, may the God of creation, who made us one family, bless you with wisdom, peace, and understanding. We are all one race, the human race. See you soon.